Welcome to another episode of the Urban Wall Street Project. I'm your host, and today I'm in the studio with two dynamic brothers that's doing some amazing things. They're the head honchos at New Media Visions, and we're going to talk about what they do. We're going to talk about how they are ahead of all the trends and setting tones and ideas that's going to revolutionize and change this whole new media vision thing that we're talking about, and how we do things in cinema here and up in America, in the United States, and definitely among the urban Wall Street, you feel me? So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guests, Mr. Shakwi and Mr. Darryl Clark. These are my brothers. How are you, brothers?
What's up, bro?
So love, happy to have you here. Finally got you in the studio. New Media Visions, we go way back. You know, we Howard buddies, we brothers from Steve-O, we the BX. It's all a lovely thing. Tell me about New Media Visions, how you two gentlemen came together.
Well, New Media Visions was kind of birthed out of the music industry. Getting tired and fed up with the BS in the music industry.
Okay.
And what I did was I just kind of fell back on to what one of my majors was. I had a double major at Howard. So one of my majors was TV production, which I never did anything with.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I saw the industry was drying up. I saw where the trend was going. It was consolidating. And then a lot of those background players, and especially in hip-hop, the hustlers, the dealers, the real hitmen, started trying to get to the forefront too much.
Right.
And that creates conflict, which a lot of conflict we see in hip-hop now. Everybody arguing and fighting and shooting, and it's all conflict because the guys in the background don't know how to stay in the background.
Right.
So I got fed up, and the last time I quit the music industry, I quit it several times.
Right.
The last time I quit the music industry, I said, you know what? I'm looking at the development of where the future's going. The digital age was coming strong. And I said, yo, I'm making the next move to television. That's where I need to be. That's what I want to do. I've got skill at it. I've got talent at it. And so I said, that's where I was going.
Okay.
And I literally thought that one day, got up, and said, this is what I'm doing.
All right.
Stopped music that day, started TV. And I just grinded it out myself, got my first office down on 23rd Street in Chelsea, and just started from there. You know, seeking out investors, put together productions. Then I made a call because I needed someone else to come in with me.
Right.
I needed someone strong with me back to help keep me where I need to be at, as well as bring different aspects of things into it. And I said, yo, pick up the phone, call D. First time he didn't answer. Call him second time, left a message, he ain't getting back to me. Then like a couple messages later, I'm like, yo, where the hell you been at?
Right.
And he was like, yo, come down to my office, we're doing some things, let's talk.
Okay.
So that's how he came down.
Right. So now D, so Brother Jam calls you, you know what I'm saying? So listen, this is what it's about. I'm done with the game. You know what it's about. We not veterans. We're not amateurs at this. We novices. We've been in this. So once you got the call, heard what it was, what made you decide, you know what, this is what it's about to be?
Well, for me, it was kind of ironic. I at the time was working for MCI WorldCom in Long Island, and I got the call from Jam, and I was like, I'm not calling him back. I'm not. So finally, I got 3 or 4 calls, and I said, you know what? Let me see what's up. So he called, yo, where you at? What's going on? Come downtown, I got something popping. Go downtown, see what he got going. On the first night, I was taken by storm, like, wow.
Okay.
You know what? I can see this happening.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? My 9 to 5 is WorldCom out Long Island. Let me see what's going on out there, and then I'll get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, about 2 weeks later, I go to work, and I get a pink slip.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I go downtown with Jam.
Right.
Everybody's sitting there, they crying, they bought new cars, got married, new houses.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, yo, I'll see y'all later, y'all be cool.
Right.
Why you happy? You just got fired. I said, nah, I ain't get fired. I'm free.
Pretty much. That's
I'm going to get my own. So basically, that was late 92. And went downtown, set up everything downtown.
Right.
O2.
I'm sorry, 02.
Right.
And I'm saying 92. 02. And from there, we sat down, had a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine, let's go. And the first actual scheduled production was a world traveling series.
Okay. Tell us about that. Definitely tell us about that.
Well, with that one, it was pretty much...
Keep it PG. This is
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just say a certain person, I'm not going to say his name on TV, but need a lot of money going around showing girls doing their thing.
Right.
So we had our own version of it.
Okay.
Okay, without getting to the actual dynamics of it, it was pretty much, let's go for it.
Right.
So put together, got the game plan going, made all the phone calls, tourism boards, travel boards, different countries, learning the customs, the money system,
Okay.
what's passable by law, what's not passable by law, securing the business carnets, I mean, everything.
Right.
And from that point on, we haven't looked back.
Right. So tell me, new media. I mean, I think, Jim, I think you definitely alluded to it, or might even lighten it. But you know, sometimes people turn the channel on late. Break it down. New media. Where'd you come up with the name?
Well, you know what? It really started out with a different name we had. Actually, it had several different names. And I wasn't really content with any of them. And I really sat back, and we have a third partner as well.
Okay.
He's our brother. So he's Caucasian, but he's our brother.
Right.
Ravani, who's down with us. Technical man extraordinaire.
Okay.
But really, I sat back and I was like, yo, I was trying to I wanted something that I wanted to be able to use the Eye of Horus as a symbol.
Okay.
You know, because I believe that's a real strong symbol for us. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a new vision for media.
Okay.
I want to put a whole new, like, I'm really inspired by CBS with their logo and their symbol, that eye. That eye is always awake, that eye is always watching. I was inspired by that, but I wanted to have a much more the Afrocentric feel to it, an African-centered base to it.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know, I want to have a new vision for media. I'm tired of seeing us laugh when things ain't funny. I'm tired of seeing us scratch when we don't itch. I'm tired of seeing us dance when ain't no music. I'm tired of seeing us dance with chicken on TV.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff.
Right,
You know, I'll be honest. I'm going to put it on blast here, but you'll never see a New Media Visions production that the Wayans brothers could be in. That kind of entertainment is just not entertainment.
Slapstick.
We have to have something else other than self-deprecating humor. And our community gets it. Whenever they do something like that, we make money. Like, you know, something that people don't know about the film industry. I'm going to put this out as a fact that everyone should be aware of. But they gas you up and tell you that they only do movies that the people will support. That's why we keep getting all these nignorants. That's my word.
I like
Nignorant.
that. Nignorant. I like that.
Shows. And they say that's a lie. There's never been a black film to date. Mark my word on this. You don't believe? Go do research. Not a black film to date that has ever lost money.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single one, ever.
Right.
You know, they may not have made blockbuster money, but it never lost money.
Okay.
So no matter what you put out with black people in it, whether it's a good quality film like Devil in a Blue Dress, TV movie like Lackawanna Blues,
Right.
those are just good, simple slices of life. They're not these urban stories where someone triumphed from I was in the ghetto, then someone outside picked me up, and now I'm triumphing.
Right.
It's not trying to, you know, beat you in the head with a lesson.
Right.
You know, I do support those things as well.
Sure.
But they're just good slices of black cinema, just good black cinema where you can see, you know what, I enjoyed that.
Right.
It wasn't grimy. It wasn't every hood tale. It wasn't Boys in the Hood number 19 because they changed the name. It's still Boys in the Hood.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just foolishness, tomfoolery, jump up and down. You know, it's just good pieces of black cinema. So I was looking for, I said, new visions for media.
Okay.
But ironically, new visions of media and for media that was taken.
Okay.
By the copyright, you know, obviously that
right, no doubt.
So I flipped it and became New Media Vision.
Okay.
But it's definitely for new visions for media. That's what we're trying to do, represent black in all its aspects. We are funny.
Right.
You know, we're developing a comedy show right now that hopefully will have a comedian extraordinaire as the host of it, some more.
Right.
We're trying to work that out right now. We like comedy. Everything doesn't have to be laugh at us for being who we are.
Right.
You know, I'm tired of seeing cookout movies, family reunion movies.
Right.
You know, just those same things rehashed and retread over and over again. There's so much in the world going on that when I look at the comedy shows, if all a comedian can laugh about is chicken issues and Black Eyed Peas issues,
right.
You know, they can't find nothing else funny, no topical humor. It's like, man, you're garbage.
Exactly. And you know, I'm definitely happy to hear you you know, talk about it from that perspective with regard to the direction you have for your show, because that's what the Urban Wall Street Project is about. It's not about slapstick. We're about business. When people think Wall Street, you think serious. You don't think Joe. You think serious. You think money. You think prosperity. You think strength. Urban America, we spend $1.2 trillion every 365 days. Yet our communities don't reflect that. We spend inordinate amounts of money on movies that are for us, or black movies. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, you go to those movies and you see them and you laugh. But do you really feel like that's depicting you as a black man or you as a black woman? But it's supposed to be a black film. So you have to be really, really conscious of what you're being fed, and not so much what you're being fed, what you're allowing yourself to swallow. So when you recognize and you hear brothers like New Media Vision, these two brothers are talking about a whole new dynamic to how we show ourselves and we project ourselves, because if you want people to see you a certain way, then you have to project that certain way and you have to walk and talk that way. So I appreciate that. So let me tell a little bit about, I know you got a lot of things going on.
Before we go to the next time, I want to jump back to that real quick. That's so important to me. There's another one of our brothers who we went to school with. I was having a conversation with him a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And we were discussing the impact that we have on the world.
No question.
Where people around the world, and every country around the world, emulate blackness.
Definitely.
The way we dress, the way we do things, but they don't respect us.
Right.
And, you know, you'll meet an Asian girl on the street, and she'll look at you like, oh my God, I gotta run. But in the meantime, in Japan, doing and being and things about blackness are the #1 things in their culture.
I can imagine.
That's all of Europe.
You know, I mean, you go around and, you know, people have to understand that, you know what, they're looking at everything we do.
That's right.
You know, and it's not no problem saying, you know what, I believe art should never be censored.
Right.
Let me be clear.
Okay.
I think that artists, our artists, black artists, especially hip-hop artists, get a bad rap. They should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
But it is the people who are behind it that only allow there to be yin-yang twins, only allow there to be, you know, that ignorant music.
Right, right.
As opposed to the balance of Talib Kweli, Common, or these other good artists, Dead Prez.
Right, right.
You know, and some people aren't even about messages. Ludacris, great artist. He's not about a message, but he's not doing things that make me feel embarrassed and ashamed.
Right, right.
You know,
and that's what it's about.
I look at them and I be like, let your chain hang low. Like,
right, right. There's definitely, I like, you know what, ignorant, that's about to be, we're going to get it up there. I like it, and that's really true we're talking about, because I know I'm tired of it. And I don't see, and the reason that we have the Urban Wall Street Project, because I personally feel there's nothing on TV doing what we're doing, talking about what I'm talking about, addressing issues. We're talking about creating economic infrastructures. If we spend $100 million a year, the Urban Wall Street Project could get $10 million of it back. You want to find out? Check us out later, but not to digress. So I want to talk about this. You two brothers merged. My man Darryl, I see you over there. Talk to these people. Let you know, share with us. Break it down. Get into it. My man Jam, we enlightening the people right now, and I let them know it's about education, and you're being educated right now on the film industry, and specifically, you know, the blacks in the film industry and how we're perceived, how we're interpreted and portrayed. Brother Darryl, expound, please.
Well, I say it like this. I'm a fan of the black exploitation films.
Right.
At Howard, we had a little game.
No question.
You had to say a certain, quote from a movie, and you had to guess where it came from.
I remember.
One of my most famous, I would say, my all-time favorite, was when crossing 10th Street.
Yeah.
They made the robbery. The guy downstairs with his lady, and she was like, "Baby, we can do it." And he says, "Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a 42-year-old ex-con nigga. No schooling, no education, with a mental problem. Now, bring it to its current state. You may have a mental problem. You have education, and you're making some money.
Right.
So, to go ahead and continue to support movies that makes no sense, or even music for that matter. Why? It's entertainment. Okay, to an extent. If you have a child, my child's not going to sit there and watch something that makes no sense.
Right.
I'm like, no. You can do this, you can read a book.
Right.
Okay?
I can dance a jig if you want to be entertained.
Exactly. Now, look at certain networks. I'm not going to say who it is.
Right.
But Cribs. Okay?
Okay.
Why out of every black man that was on there, and woman, they showed you their cars, their kitchen, their living rooms, their bedrooms. Somebody out on there even showed their condom stash. But that's the nigger we're talking about. Okay? Not one of them, not one, had a library.
That's right.
Word.
And I'm going from the multi-million-dollar Cribs,
right.
And we know who we're talking about.
A book.
Right. Okay?
There was no book.
No library.
Nowhere.
So, we're saying this. For all the young guys out there right now, and ladies, if you want to get in this business, do something positive, something constructive. You have your own mind, you have your own energy. Don't follow the next man or woman, get into your own. Okay, I mean, trust me, there's many stories to be told. If you look at it, in every neighborhood, in every state, in every city, even overseas, there's 5 main characters. 1, never has money. 2, natural leader. 3, troublemaker. 4, the ladies' man. 5, the quiet, shy one. Think about it. Call a cousin down south. Call a cousin out west. Call cousin in Florida. Call cousin in Chicago.
Right.
I guarantee you, the names and area codes may change, but the person is the same.
Definitely.
So now, bring that all home. If we have now feature films coming out, and we can say, Dad, you know what? I went through that one time in my life.
Okay.
Dad, you know what? And it can cross over.
Definitely.
In the Latino neighborhood, the Jewish neighborhood, the Greek neighborhood. Real good movie. My Greek Wedding.
Right.
Turn that into My Jamaican Wedding.
Right.
It is happening.
Sure it is.
We all can apply to it.
Exactly.
Definitely.
You know, so then you think, okay, fine. It's a family movie. Okay, a love story. When was the last love story we seen on TV? Or in the movies? Or on cable?
Right. Real love. So what was it?
A real love story.
Basketball?
Love and basketball.
Love and basketball.
If that was
why
definitely.
sport? Why sport? Why can't this be love?
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't be love in the library.
Nah, couldn't be that.
Couldn't be love at the university.
No.
Even, let me piggyback on what some Darryl just said. Now that they mentioned all those brothers' houses and cribs you saw, nobody had a library. They all had the same thing.
Right.
They had their expensive bottles of champagne in their refrigerator.
Right.
They weren't even smart enough to have a wine cabinet.
Right.
True.
And on top of that, they all had a picture of Scarface.
Right.
Everybody had a picture of Scarface. Now my question is this. They ask black hip-hoppers all the time, how do you feel about influencing the youth with your music you do?
Right.
But they all swear to Scarface.
Right.
Why no one has ever asked Al Pacino, how do you feel about doing this movie that has corrupted entire generations in the black community? Because they're all emulating Scarface. They're all emulating The Godfather. They're all emulating Goodfellas. Why no one wants to know why Al Pacino does? How does he feel about making that movie?
Right. And you know what? And I feel you on that. And I want to answer. You know what? And if not, how does he feel about making it? Then he might not have even realized the magnitude that it would become. Neither did Scorsese. But definitely looking back, I wonder if I went into either one of their homes or any of the stars from that movie, would I find a Scarface DVD, a Scarface PSP game, a Scarface jacket? And my thing is, brother, said, listen, for all intents and purposes, Scarface might have been an incredible movie, but here's the reality: from ashy to classy. But this was a drug dealer that killed, maimed, and corrupted people in communities. And here we want to be seen as leaders and we want to be seen as proud people, but we swear by a drug-dealing murderer.
Well, let's take it a little step further. If you think about it, go back. Scarface came out, I believe, 82, 84 around that time.
Right.
We was in high school back then.
Right.
Going to the Palace up on White Plains Road. Right. Okay. When that movie first came out, it was an X rating.
Definitely.
And they fought it, and they fought it, and they fought it because with X rating, they could not show it in theaters. Once X rating dropped and it went to R, everybody can get it.
Right.
Everybody made money.
Of course.
But if you looked at it, in all those theaters, you seen blacks and Latinos. You didn't see no white boys in there. So now it's like, okay, fine. You go back and say, well, hey, it's being, you know, the fanfare. They came back out with, okay, the remixed version of it, the superimposed version. It's the same thing.
You know what? I'm going to get back to the meeting, but I want to ask one question because I'm glad that this is a whole different dynamic that we're talking about. And I want to ask this question, and you tell me, each one of you. Scarface came out when it did, and it changed generations. If Scarface had not come out then, how do you think the hip-hop game would be now? Second part. If Scarface was released this summer, what do you think the impact it might have on this generation? Because I wonder if Scarface has led to this generation's kind of detriment. So, fellas, y'all feel me on it. 2 parts. If it came out then, if it hadn't come out then, where might the hip-hop game be, or even black culture, with regard to being a thug, gangster thug, whatever we want to call ourselves, this foolishness because we want to be in a prisoner, or if it had come out this summer?
Well, you know what? It's funny. I bring this up at lots of dinner parties I go to. I'm sitting around. I like to talk about this particular topic because I hate people putting the weight. Do I think our hip hop artists are often irresponsible? Yes, but don't put the weight on them.
Right.
As kids, they ate what they were fed.
Right.
Godfather, the glorification of white crime.
Right.
That's what they were fed. The glorification of white crime, and ultimately, we love the Gaudis, we love De Niro in The Godfather, and America just embraces these things.
Right.
And they try to tell us that crime and all these other things are bad when we do it, but it's okay when they do it.
No question.
So had Robbers not come out that time, it would have been a different track, I believe. It wouldn't have been a single focus point. Like right now, everyone's focused on Scarface, right? It wouldn't have been a single focus point, but you have to also remember, during that same era was when we were having America's quote-unquote hero, Oliver North, trading arms with Nicaragua for cocaine and drugs.
Right.
And flooding the streets of L.A. with drugs and cocaine.
Right.
You know,
CIA,
Oliver North was doing this with the CIA and, you know, Iran-Contra scandal, where they were selling drugs for weapons.
Right.
So, believe me, the intent was to dismantle and confuse our community for all these years.
Right.
You know, people want to ignore that stuff because, you know what, the guy got pardoned. Though he got found guilty, he was busted, fingerprints all over everything, found pardoned. But you know what would have happened? We might not have attached onto it that hard.
Right.
You know, but you know what? You got Oliver North putting vans of guns in black neighborhoods in L.A. and then leaving them unattended.
Right.
People can walk into a van and pull out 5 AK-47s,
so we all,
10,
exactly.
You know, and then you flood the area with drugs.
And then,
you know,
and the rest is history, right?
Right. So I mean, I think that the plan was to attack us hard either way. I think that right now, generation of hip hoppers who are all saying the same thing over and over again that wouldn't be their reference point.
Right.
It'll be something different.
All right. So now we're going to fast forward because we're in the new millennium. We're in 07. We have new media visions. It's a whole different game right now. You understand what I'm saying? New media. We got to change this. New media is going to change it. Now, I know you worked on a few projects in the past. Tell me about some of the projects you've done, you know what I'm saying, you feel proud of, and maybe, you know, without giving too much away, some of the upcoming projects for this particular year.
All right, I'll go into that a little bit. First, New Media Visions is a full-service production company, which means not only do we do our own independent projects that we create, we also work on other projects. We worked on So You Think You Can Dance on Fox.
Okay.
I was coordinating producer for that, and we crewed that up, which means we staffed up the production.
Okay.
We also we've crewed up videos for Rick Ross, Rihanna, which means when people want to find someone to do the job, they come and say, listen, no matter what state it's in, we make it happen. We've worked as far as series, we've done a gay series, which was another travel series we did, which was very crazy. We've seen more things than any heterosexual man should ever see in their life.
Right.
But it was a good, profitable venture for us. There's upcoming projects right now. We're doing some stuff with BETJ.
Okay.
We have a show coming out, a black male grooming show.
Okay.
Which is pretty big.
Pretty big.
And be clear, black male grooming is not metrosexual. All right? There's a fine line between that stuff.
Right.
Black male grooming is how we get down with our style.
No question.
You know, and how we process together. And that's not that goes back to the days of in the 70s.
Right.
Those got clean.
Right.
You know, the 80s, the 90s. So this series coming up, we're really excited because we're working with Idris Elba.
Okay.
Who you guys know from The Wire.
Right.
He was Stringer Bell on The Wire. Very classy, smooth, international brother.
Okay.
He was born in London. His parents are Sierra Leonean and Ghanaian.
Okay.
And he was born in England. And we know him mostly as the Stringer Bell character, but the guy is smooth. He's got an English accent. And, you know, the ladies love him.
Right.
We've got a cooking series coming up. Actually, I have 2 cooking shows coming up.
Okay.
And I mentioned the comedy show that we're working and we're hoping that we lock in. And it'll be the first time a black female comedian has her own comedy show.
Oh, excellent.
So we're really hoping that hits.
Big things, baby, big things.
That's what it's about. I mean, that's what 07 is about. You know, 06 is done. You know what I'm saying? We in 07, and we making, you know, new things happen. In 07, 08, it's a new beginning, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. So for my people watching at home, it's a plethora of information. You're getting so much. You know, new media has it on the ball and you're on the rise. I want to just give you one opportunity, you know, just the last thing, to let the people know why New Media Visions is the company to look out for in the future. Real fast.
Real quick. I'll just say that, 1, we're creating new projects. 2, if you need someone to work on your project, you can hit us up. 347-297-6827, the office number. We right down on 38th Street in the city. You need a music video done, commercials done. We had a meeting earlier today about putting together a project in Jamaica for Jamaican television.
Real big.
Right.
All the yardies.
Yeah, all the yardies.
Right.
You know, we're bringing, like I said, a new vision for media.
Okay.
Something black people can feel proud about, feel good about, and just feel comfortable with.
Definitely, definitely. Well, listen, before we get out of here, I definitely want to thank my guests, my brothers, for coming through, you know, shedding some light on the film industry, talking about positive new things happening for black cinema, for black youth to have something to aspire for and strive and see other than, you know, the white man, you know, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, doing drugs, and they glorify. We do it, we go to jail. It's not a game. It's not a movie. Okay, it's real life. Recognize the power that we have. Recognize the power that these brothers are bringing. Recognize the power that's in you that you don't know yet. Okay, new media represents rebirth, the beginning of how media should be, and if not should be, how we should command for it to be. You've been watching the Urban Wall Street Project. I want to thank my guest, Mr. Darryl Clark, and Mr. Shakwi for coming through. New Media Visions. Reach out to them. It's the Urban Wall Street Project. You know what it is. Peace.